Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Just wait a few more minutes.
Good morning, guys. I don't have a camera today, so you unfortunately won't get to see me.
We get to see the ugly version of you, huh? The whole meeting.
You're not gonna be so lucky today to see my real face.
All right, it's 9:46 and
Morning.
Good morning, on. All right, I guess we can get started. Chi, do you know if Peter and his name just completely slipped? Not Ricky, but is it Brandon? No.
Harrison.
Oh, Harrison, there you go. Hey, Harrison, were you going to be presenting today?
I'm not sure if it's a full-blown presentation, but I have two educational videos that I've posted on YouTube as a resource for you guys, so I can talk about it, but I don't think I'm doing the demo within this meeting.
Okay. Okay, so there is a miscommunication then. Are the two videos, what are they in regards to?
Helping MLOs build content creation quickly utilizing AI.
Okay. What about the Gemini? Did Peter reach out to you regarding Gemini?
Correct. That is the Gemini / ChatGPT editor or educational video.
Okay. How long are those videos?
5 minutes.
5 minutes? Okay. If you don't mind, okay, we'll jump into that though, because that's what actually we're gonna cover. Hey, good morning, guys. By the way, do you guys know if Peter's going to be on today?
He's in the office.
Okay.
Not sure if he'll be in the meeting though.
All right. No worries. We'll get started. Good morning. Happy Tuesday, guys. Yeah, very just interesting. Interesting what's going on in the market today. I don't know if you guys read, but Amazon came off, and there was a speculation that they were going to display the cost of tariffs to their pricing, which they have now since denied and retracted. But because of that, one, there's two reasons really. We're seeing some improvement in the bond market, as you have seen. So you guys should have seen our lenders reprice with improvements. And secondly, the jobs data, right? The jobs opening came in considerably less than forecasted. So we're seeing some improvement in the market the past few days, since probably tail end of last week. Again, cautiously do float, but we are now back into the low sixes, so that's definitely a win for all of us here in the marketplace. Let's start off with, if you don't mind, Alex, if you want to introduce yourself. I see you're new to the team, yeah? Yeah, if you don't mind unmuting yourself. Yeah, introducing yourself, your background, and perhaps your mortgage or lending history, if any.
Yes, my name's Alex. Of course, I've been in telemarketing for the last few years, and I deal with a lot of trigger leads, iLeads, cold calls, just reaching people out, getting them pricing. Sorry, I have I could hear myself talk, so it's like throwing me off.
No, you're good though. Thank you.
Mute.
Perfect. Can you mute?
Can you hear me?
How about now? Hello?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I hear you now. Okay.
So yeah, that's basically what I do. I just passed my exam in January, so I'm clear to go for California and Florida.
Congrats.
And thank you. And just what I've been doing now, just been calling all the people that just called in, left voicemails, and just keep calling, calling them. Yesterday, I pitched 6 people just from just calling and calling and calling.
Yeah.
And 2 people I have that are going to do the application with us now.
Very nice.
And yeah, and that's just what I do. I just reach out and just used to the telemarketing side. I'm kind of getting adjusted to the LO side, which is more building rapport. I'm used to just doing like a order taking, soft selling. That's just kind of what I'm used to. So this is kind of like a little new to me, just, getting to know the client and building that rapport so they could come back and do more business with us.
Very nice. Just curious if I could ask, how many calls are you making in a day?
So when I first started with telemarketing, it was an auto dialer. I do about 500-600 calls a day.
Okay.
Right now, yesterday I did about 30.
Okay.
I got a hold of 10 people and I pitched 6. So
That's actually good. Good odds there. Really good.
it's not too bad. Yeah, there was like a few no's, but a lot of these people are very nice, which is a shock to me because I'm used to being yelled at, cursed at. These people are willing to hear what you have to offer, and you really have to cherish the calls because. For me, it was like calling those 500-600 people a day. I'd probably get a hold of 40-50 people. And a lot of times they were yelling at you or they just don't give you the time. So you really got to cherish the calls you have.
And out of the 500-600, how many are actually converting?
About 8.
Yeah, that's about right. Yeah.
About 8.
So yeah, I mean, same thing in the mortgage industry. For as long as I've been doing, about 16 years now, it's about 1%. Right. So for every, it's just a baseline number, right, guys? So for every 100 contacts you make, you'll probably close 1, right? So it's a lot of calls. So yeah, well, continued success on your efforts. That's great. Yeah, guys. So let's go around real quickly. Win for the week. Let's start with. Well, kind of Alex, you kind of shared with us your wins. That's great. You got 6 or you got 2, right? Converted.
Yes.
Yeah? That's awesome. Great. Who else is on the call? C, do you mind sharing, kicking us off? A quick win. See? Nope. Oh, he just got back on. You have a quick win?
Just the refi closed. Just closed, but I want to share that I guess insurance was a big deal. We ran into some hiccups because of insurance. He was in a fire zone.
Okay.
So, and his insurance renewal was coming up and we couldn't close unless he found new insurance. So that was a hiccup. So I guess something to keep an eye out when you're refinancing or.
Yeah. If you don't mind sharing a little bit deeper there, who did he end up going? Was it someone through Giving Tree or someone that they found?
Someone they found.
They found. Okay.
So they did what's it called? CFP, and I forgot what the term was, but they had to go through CFP.
Okay, and it was a pretty reasonable rate.
Yes.
Yeah.
Better than what they were getting from Giving Tree. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so guys, just know, because of the fires, obviously there's real significant impact. If you have any closing in Los Angeles County, especially those around the mountainside, the baseline, the hills, the foothills, where the fires were, insurance premiums are 1, hard to get, and 2, very expensive. Many a times the options are that they have to supplement with the California Fair Plan. Okay. California Fair Plan is interesting. It could be very affordable or it could be very expensive. I don't know how it works. I don't know if Brenda or someone or Romy has some insight to that, but I've seen both spectrums. I mean, when I say expensive, I'm talking about $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 expensive. When I say affordable, it could be like $900 to $1,200, but it has to be supplemented. Okay, so if you have a deal in Los Angeles, that should be one of your top priority of items to discuss and have the borrowers get on top of right away. Great job. Awesome. Congrats on your closing on. C, quick win for the week. No, he's not there. How about Ricky?
Yeah, I'm
Yes.
here. I'm sorry. For me, it's just I just feel extremely blessed because I'm just very constantly busy with a lot of activities. So that's my win for the week.
Awesome. I will highlight with C on that note, guys. Again, we share these wins for the weeks every morning, real quickly, just because be inspired, be encouraged, take away something from another loan officer is doing. And part of I can't I don't want to speak for C, but I can only imagine that his busyness also translates from his activity online on social media, whether there's a direct correlation there or not. He's keeping himself busy, and if he keeps himself busy, the business will reward you by forcing you to be busy. So see, if you guys have time, he has, in a very short amount of time, have created a lot of content online through his YouTube channel. So if you guys please mark it down, you don't try not to do it during this call, but as soon as we end the call here, just Google or YouTube SEI Huang Mortgage, and he'll pop up. And again, in a very short amount of time, he has done an amazing job of just posting content, guys. And he's inspired me too. So I started. Okay. Ricky, win for the week?
It's not mortgage related, but my daughter's birthday is done, so that's a big stress relief.
That's great. How old is your daughter?
She just turned 7.
Oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
so
My middle child's birthday is today.
oh,
Very nice. He's turning 7. He turned 7
happy
today.
birthday.
Yeah, happy birthday.
Oh,
Yeah.
happy birthday.
Yeah, 7. Awesome. Freddie, win for the week?
Okay. First of all, the biggest win is always learning from you guys, all your best practices. But building pipeline for me has been like my focus in the last few days, converting from my tax local business, my taxes business. So I converted 2 prospective buyers this week, and have a meeting on Saturday with one of them.
Awesome. Great. Great job. Sorry, and this is a prospect for commercial or residential?
Residential both.
Oh, very nice. Very nice. Congrats. Hannah, thanks for joining. A win for the week for you, could share.
Okay. So I had an investment property purchase from a friend of mine, and then the processing team has been working with the escrow company, and then we locked in the rate yesterday, but she just changed her mind and then canceled the purchase this morning.
Oh no.
So it's a little bit frustrating since it was my first deal.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but I still learned something from there. It was my first rate lock experience. Yeah.
What, could you share with us her decision and why she canceled?
I think one of the tenant, it was 4-unit investment property, and then one of the tenants was under, I think, court process.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Understand. Because of an eviction or something?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Any words of encouragement to Hannah?
Well, now she knows where to send this file to. Structure is a little weird, but
Okay.
so this is a first-time home buyer who's trying to buy an investment property. So first-time home buyer pairing with a first-time investor. Freddie Mac stopped doing this since last year, but Fannie Mae is allowing us to do it when we have a housing payment history.
Yes.
So there was a critical difference that any other people couldn't do, but we were able to do it.
Yeah.
We could go for fold-out or DSCR options.
Yeah, guys, if I want to elaborate on that, guys. So if you have a first-time home buyer, right? He or she has a borrower's never owned property, and let's just say that this borrower lives with mom and dad, and there is no evidence of rental payment to their mom and dad or aunt or uncle, whoever he lives with, right? Unfortunately, you cannot purchase. The guidelines don't allow you to purchase as your first property an investment property. Okay, does that make sense, guys? That's a guideline that many loan officers actually don't know. It's like, oh, I just graduated college and I'm living with mom and dad or aunt and uncle, and I got my first time job. I saved up some money, and some social media guru told me, hey, you should invest in property. And so you get excited. I'm going to go buy my investment property. Well, guess what? You really can't. Okay. Now there's ways around it, of course.
Are you referring only to residential property?
Correct. Residential as an investment property, though.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. There are, like as Peter mentioned, there are some non-QM lenders that will allow it, but for the vast majority, that's not allowed unless you can provide a proof of rental history. So I had one about 6 years ago during pandemic, actually, where I had a client who lived with his uncle, and because they didn't have the same last name, it really worked out, and they were able to provide a rental history, right? But here's where it didn't happen. The lender then requested evidence of bank statements. So they couldn't provide that, although he signed off on what's called a VOM, a verification of mortgage or verification of rent. The underwriter found it a little sketchy, and so she further wanted proof, and so we ended up having to go with a different lender. So things like that do happen. Very good. I see that Paul, you're with us. Paul, you want to share a win for the week? Paul's not there? How about Christine? Welcome, Christine.
Hi.
Hi.
Win for the week. We'll have one bar signing loan docs today, actually.
Tomorrow? Okay.
At 4.
I'm sorry? Yeah, 4 closing?
Yeah, 4 p.m. signing.
4 p.m.
And then closing
okay.
actually on the 5th, next Monday though.
Very nice. You want to shed some color on this file? Anything unique about it, or?
Well, there was a little bit of issue with the seller being upset. It's an off-market deal, and then there was a new listing during the process, like with a higher sales price than what we had. So like she thought she could put it back on the market and get higher. So there was a bit of issue with that and stuff like that, but just got it done.
Right on. Very nice. Ian. Final, at least,
Good morning.
not least.
Good
Yes.
morning.
Morning.
Morning. Yeah, I'm commuting right now. Sounds like there's been a few birthdays, and I, for one, celebrated my son's birthday last Sunday.
Very nice.
So that was a big win.
Yeah.
So work-life balance is going good for me. I've been able to come down to California from Las Vegas to visit families. So spend time with kids. I've been out here since the 16th of this month. So looking to bounce back to Vegas by this Friday or Saturday morning. But so these last few days, I've just been visiting my real estate partners. So that's been going good. I've got another one tomorrow going to Temecula.
Oh, nice.
Visiting 2 of my very loyal realtors, and they're looking to introduce me to 2 more.
Very good.
So hopefully that that's fruitful, and just reconnecting with my realtors that are out here in Southern California.
Awesome. Very good. I'm going to piggyback on that real quick, but before I hand this over to Peter and Harrison, my win for the week is so here's the deal, and this could have been a deal talk, but I have a client who owns a property in a land trust. Okay, I had no idea what a land trust was until this came about. A land trust, in short, is where, and it's not really popular here in California because title companies do not insure a land trust anymore. Okay, in other states they may, actually they do, like Florida, but not here in California. What a land trust is it's basically used to kind of hide, okay, your ownership in a property. So this borrower, who's a real estate agent of mine, purchased a home 20 years ago. She's been on title for about 14 years, and she got a divorce, but she got remarried. During that transition, or during that time that she was going to get remarried, she decided to put her property transfer it into a land trust. What a land trust does is just like a living trust. You guys all familiar with the living trust? Yes, for most part. A land trust, basically, there's a trustee that's assigned. Okay, so let's imagine that C owns a property. Okay, C owns a house, and he decides he's gonna get remarried. He's not, guys, but he's gonna get remarried. But he doesn't want to show that he technically owns this property. So what he could do is create a land trust, and he can assign me, because I'm a trusted friend of his, or a brother or a cousin, whatever, as the trustee. Okay, but it's like, well, why would you do that? Why would you give your property away to someone else? Well, then what happens to that land trust is I will then assign C as the beneficiary to that property. So his ownership, he technically doesn't have it, but on one hand, he has it by being a beneficiary through the trust. Do you guys catch that? So it relieves him of ownership, unfortunately. So that was a tough part. I had to go back to my borrower and tell her, sorry, you don't own this property because you're just a beneficiary. You'll only get this property should the trustee decide to designate it back to you, or if the trustee passes away. And so she wanted to do a cash out. She's actually going through a divorce again, unfortunately. And we weren't able to help her because no lender would take a land trust. Okay. So Giving Tree lending processing team for days. I mean, we were at this. I was like bugging Gia and the whole team. Hey, we need to find a solution. What do we do? Because to do a cash out, this is another guideline to note. To do a cash out on a property, you have to be seasoned for 6 months, generally speaking. Okay. So a homeowner has to be on title for 6 months if you want to pull out equity. Well, so the idea was to take this borrower and get the land trust out of vesting, invest it back into her name. But the problem is we would have to wait 6 months. Fortunately, the team found a lender, and that lender is AmWest. AmWest allows less than 6 months seasoning. However, the LTV is capped though at 65. So the trade-off is you can pull out cash, but it's going to come out, you're going to pull out less cash at 65 as opposed to usually 75 or 80%, right? I think 75. But there is no seasoning requirement. Okay. So that was a very, very big win for me, for my client, who's also an agent, a referring agent of mine. So she's stoked about it. So we're in the process right now of removing that land trust. Also note that title companies will not just remove it like that. Because it's something that's not supposed to be insured in the state of California, not all title companies will allow or sign off on removing the land trust. So that was another workaround that I learned about. Okay, so big win there for me. I'm gonna just share one last thing something that Peter mentioned last week. Yes, Freddie.
Yep. Which title company did you go with?
It was CB Best, and they had to get an exception. They had to get an exception to get to remove to sign off on that. CB Best, by the way, is a title partner with Giving Tree. Okay, and they've been really great.
Wagner, I have a question, Wagner.
Yeah.
So who was the grantor? Or the
So
trustor?
in this case, there's no grantor. It's just in a land trust. It's just a trustee and a beneficiary, and that's it.
Got it. Okay.
Yep. Yeah.